Hey everybody, Eagle Run 23 here, back from SHOT Show, and now I get to go through all of these videos and these stories and tell you about some of the cool stuff that I got to see. Now, a lot of people go to SHOT Show for a lot of different reasons. I went for two main reasons. One was just to connect with some friends and companies that I already know, and two, just to check in and see if there was a couple of cool things coming out that I knew I wanted to shoot videos on to tell you guys about. Over the next couple of weeks, I want to be going through and editing out these videos, but we can't slow down and just do SHOT Show videos. We have a lot of projects that are waiting and ready to go. We're way behind. So the first company on my list to tell you about is a company called Elfman Triggers. I've been working with Art Elfman for a couple of months now. Very excited about some stuff that he's got coming out. There's three main things in this video that I want you to check out. One is you need to see these new AR15 triggers. Obviously, a great AR15 trigger is very important, and that's kind of something that I like to do. Nice barrel, nice bolt, nice trigger, and the rest of the gun can really be whatever you want.
Match trigger that we've had for years. This is a $260 trigger.
Okay.
So we're competing in a market with $260 triggers. That's less than 10% of the market, okay? So we made a trigger now that makes this obsolete. Now I'm just gonna show you the things that are happening. So this little trigger right here, fully adjustable in the gun. You can go from 2 3/4 pounds to 5 pounds, plus you put another spring, gets it to 7 pounds. It will not fail. It falls into notches. We've never had to replace one, okay? Double wide disconnect. It's a puzzle piece instead of a trench with a pin through it, okay? Double torsion spring. It's the strongest spring in the industry on the hammer. We hold the patents to it. We make the machine that makes it. It's also fully drop safe, okay? You drop it out of an airplane, it will stop, it will not fire. It's adjustable shoe, you can get it in straight or curved. And so this is arguably the greatest trigger on this planet. I'll go against any $300 trigger, okay? This is a $140 retail trigger. Okay, now watch, this is obsolete because of this. Okay. So we now made a trigger that is skip-proof AR trigger, and we mean it is fail-proof, okay? We shoot 5,000 round tests, we go out and we let everyone shoot. We can't get this to light strike, double fire, or machine gun ever, not in any of the testing ever, okay? What it's doing is something very cool. We have a fully adjustable tension, so we go from 2 3/4 to 7 pounds. We have a disconnector and a sear with a spring between it, okay? What's happening is the hammer space is smaller than that space. So that, in order when the bolt pops past, it has to catch one or the other.
That tension?
That's it, man, that's your sear, okay? So now, if I'm holding my trigger, it catches on the disconnector like a normal gun, resets like a normal trigger. But there's no gap here, it can't skip past, okay? So now when I pull my trigger, and what's really cool is when you fire an AR, you're holding your trigger so the disconnector engages so your next round resets. Now you gotta hold the trigger, and you can do it fast, but you're consciously holding the trigger, okay? Now this trigger, you can pop it like a button. It will automatically set again, so you can just go boom, 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 boom,
so you
boom,
can
boom.
slap the trigger like you're not supposed to.
That's right, because you do not have to hold it to get it to reset. Now what's really cool too is this sear, so we're adjustable on the trigger tension, we're fully adjustable sear. So now we're gonna take this trigger, we're gonna take the sear, and we're gonna turn it off until it fails. So we're turning it out, so this is less trigger pull. Now it failed. We'll back it up a half a turn, and now we'll throw it back on, make sure we're enough, and it catches. Now, and I don't care how slow, what you do, this always catches. I can do it, try to make it skip, you can't, okay? Now, if the trigger did ever skip, means you just set that too low. Now, the first thing people are gonna tell me, well, what happens when that screw comes out? If the screw comes out, it becomes more engaged.
Okay.
If the screw comes all the way out, it completely engages, there is no failure. This trigger will not fail, it's the first one in the world.
Has
And
anyone
we hold
ever...
the patent.
and you hold the patent?
I hold the US patent on it, yep.
Has anyone else made a adjustable sear?
There are, maybe. I've never really seen one. I made them years ago.
What are we tuning for when we're tuning our sear?
So what's happening is let's say you're police and military, you need a fully engaged sear, okay? So you're gonna back this thing off, and now you're gonna have a bunch of creep, like a normal trigger, but you're gonna have a trigger that just cannot make it fail, okay? But now let's say you wanna shoot a competition, you wanna shoot coyotes, you want a trigger that's gonna go off like a match trigger does, right? Now you just turn this. The more you turn this, the less our trigger pull is, okay? So I'm gonna turn this thing in until it fails. I backed it out, now watch, it's gonna fail again. All right, now our sear can be anything in between there that you're comfortable with. So now we back it up a half a turn, let's say, see if that's enough. And there's catching, and now that's like a hair trigger. And so it's just fully adjustable, and it does not fail. Comes in curved or straight trigger shoes that go up and down. There's nothing on the market everybody else is playing for second place. And I'll put that against them any day.
We are going to have a full selection of AR15 triggers here very soon as well. They're on their way. It is the new design. Now, in this video, you'll see the old design and the new design. Both of those are available, and I'll have a code for you for all the Elfman products down below. A really nice, crispy AR15 trigger. Oh, so exciting. Can't wait to get some of those in and keep using them. I did get to feel them quite a bit, but I haven't shot them yet, so full review coming on that. The second thing from Elfman are the 700 triggers, the bolt action triggers. This one here is a RIM 700, but they've got other models as well. So check out me trying some of these out and a couple things that Art has to share with us about his bolt action triggers.
How's that feel? Now we're doing this for the shooting the Olympic Games now. I'm making this trigger adjustable down to an ounce. Because they, the F-class guys. And watch, feel this 110, dude. 110, not bad. Pull that. I already talked.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
And it snaps.
Crispy.
Pretty nice.
Okay, and I've saved the best for last. This is true innovation. This is why you go to SHOT Show, is to see these types of things from brilliant people, brilliant design, fresh takes on things. Everyone knows a Glock trigger leaves a little to be desired. You can call it a staple gun, that mushy feel that you get, and then you have a break. Art, being the inventor, genius guy that he is, has come up with a way to completely re-engineer the way that a Glock trigger functions. This is not a Glock trigger. This is not a clone. Oftentimes you'll see companies for several $100s selling you what is essentially a polished trigger and maybe a fancy colored or anodized aluminum trigger shoe. That is not what he did. This is a fresh take. It actually requires there to be a little piece of milling done on the slide, which is included in the price of the trigger. You're going to send your slide in. He's going to send it back. All of the shipping and the milling is included in the price. You're going to want to see how this trigger works.
Okay. Have you pulled it?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been playing with it.
All right. So what did you want to know about it?
So it's a completely original. It doesn't work the same way as a Glock trigger. It's
Not
like
at all.
Fresh
Okay.
design.
So it sucks I can't show you because we were doing a graphic that showed you the inside of it.
Right.
So basically what it's doing though, let me show you. So we're going to pull it apart like we normally would pull apart. We hit the Glock, hit the trigger, and take it apart.
Okay.
Now, we had to make one modified to your Glock. Okay, so we cut this part out. So when you buy the trigger, they're $260 retail. It comes with a package and a return shipping and all that in the package. You put your bolt in it or your slide in it. We cut it for you. We send it back. So it's $260 altogether, shipping and everything. Okay. So that's the only mod. Now, if you hate my trigger in the end, your gun works better with this mod than without. It does
Okay.
by far.
Okay.
All Glocks, when you put the mag in, it's pushing your bullets down, not resting on the lips of the mag. We test this against all these stock Glocks. This thing, 3,500 rounds at one time without even missing a round coming out. And I believe because this does this, now your mag, it goes all the way to the top, your bullet does.
Okay.
It's sitting on the lips, and it's radically, if we're out with 9 Glocks, and we have 3 of these are out shooting them all day, not because of the trigger, because of that cut. And if you hate our trigger, your gun will still work when you put the trigger in. Okay, so what our trigger's doing is when you pull a Glock trigger, you're pulling back a firing pin. So all the aftermarket triggers, what they do is they put a weaker firing pin spring, so we're less likely to ignite the round. So this is pulling, and every time it slips off, it fires. Now it's got to go all the way back, pull back, and that's why the Glock trigger kind of sucks. Okay, so what this is doing is this is now catching right here. When we pull the trigger, it drops and lets it go. When we hold the trigger, it's set, goes to reset, the fire position, and then fires. So you're getting the shoe with its original safety. The Glock still has the safety that blocks the firing pin, and then our trigger still does not let go. This is totally drop safe. So now we take it, we put it back together. The only difference is it hits a stop here. Now you pull the trigger, we pop it down, and we're back in game. And we're 1.5 to 2.5 pound trigger, and it's skip proof. So that's just by far the best stock trigger ever made.
I absolutely love that. So cool. Just outside the box thinking. I'm excited about it. One other thing that I got to take with me is the ELF, the light stock. This just goes on a standard buffer tube, and then you've got this really lightweight, adjustable stock. I've got something planned for this. You're gonna have to wait to hang out and see, but very excited to be working with Elfman. They've got great stuff, great customer service. I've come across several companies just in my short time of doing this that simply do not take care of their customers. Elfman answers the phone. They've got great email, tech support, whatever you got going on. Elfman's a company that I'm fully recommending. And they didn't pay me to say any of this. I just like showing off companies that are doing cool stuff and doing things right. All right, our next AR-15 build has got an ELF trigger in it. Can't wait to show it to you. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you next time.